Hey guys, it's the Casual Canuck coming back again with some more Pokemon opinions, not news. I don't have news this time. I have opinions. I have a list here of just a small set of gripes that most of the community has sort of stacked up, and I've gone around and I've asked around the community a little bit what most people's concerns are with this game coming out. Now, the first thing I want to tackle is actually going to be the largest chunk of this conversation, and it's going to be the lack of Pokemon. Now, most of the defenders, and I don't like using the word defenders, it sounds like we're starting a war with each other within the community, and that's another point that I'm going to bring up a little bit later, is the community itself. But most of the defense that they have is saying, how many other developers out there are coming out with games that have over 900 different monster designs? Now, granted, there's not a lot of developers out there that would do that because that's super time consuming. But for long-time franchises, I have a counter argument. And it's not going to be monsters, it's going to be cars. I am looking specifically at Gran Turismo 6. Now, this game came out on the PS3. Just as a reference here, they have 1,245 different vehicles in that game. And these aren't just cars. Even though there might be 3 or 4 of a GTR or 3 or 4 of a Corvette Z06 all within the same year, they all have different statistics. They all handle differently. They all have different horsepower. They all have different torque. They're all modeled completely differently. And they also have the outside of the vehicle modeled, the interior of the vehicle's modeled. You're looking at these cars from many different angles, and one of the most impressive parts of this is within all these cars, all racing in real time with their own animations and their own sound effects and their own lighting effects, it can happen in different weather effects. You can have snow, you can have rain, and these all drastically change how your vehicle handles. And this game can do all of this in real time. Due to the tires that you're driving with your vehicle can completely change how everything's going. There is deterioration in endurance races when you have to do oil changes, you have to fuel up again, you have to change your tires. This is the sort of thing, and once again, let me tell you, PS3, okay, this is on the PS3, and you look at the models of those vehicles, it's one of the best looking, if not the best looking PS3 game out there, especially for that time of generation. I do believe that Game Freak is able to program all these Pokemon into the game. Now, I'm not going to go out there and say Game Freak is lazy. I don't actually believe that. I believe the developers are doing everything that their bosses are telling them to do. So maybe this is a little bit higher up. We're not going to get into that. I'm just talking about how other companies can do this. And I can guarantee, even though I'm not a video game developer, and I know me saying I'm not a developer and then saying guarantee, that doesn't really sound right, but one of these cars will take way more time to develop than a single animation for a Pokemon or a whole Pokemon and its battle animation. It takes way more time, money, and development costs, everything that go into just making one of these cars, and they have 1,245 of them. All right, okay, I got that out of the way. I just felt like I needed to say that one. Next up, I have Dynamax looks boring compared to previous gen gimmicks. So you look at how Dynamax is turning out, and it's kind of boring. And when you look at it, Dynamax almost seems to be a mixture of both Totem Pokemon and Z moves. It's kind of an amalgamation of the two. But at the end of the day, there's no change to the Pokemon other than its actual size. And from everything that we've seen from the videos, the only thing that looks to change is the HP. So it's an HP boost for 3 turns. Okay, that's kind of cool. The only time we've ever really been able to affect our HP in an upwards fashion would have been through Mega Evolution. And that was only tied to a few certain Pokemon. But Dynamax itself just seems boring for this generation. We're getting a new console game. And this is the first mainline console game on the Switch. It would have been nice if they had kept in both Z moves, yes, I don't really care for them, but if you had kept the Z moves, and if they had kept the Mega Evolutions, along with the Dynamaxing. Obviously not having them all work in tandem, that would be crazy, I'm sure. But if they had allowed us to keep that, so we could have one Dynamax per battle, one Mega Evolution per battle, and one Z-Move per battle, that could have been a lot of fun. I'm sure the meta would have been turned upside down completely had that happened. But it would have been better than just having just Dynamax. And like I stated in one of my previous videos, Dynamax is kind of cool for the story, and you'll use it for your Stage 1 evolution once, you'll use it for your Stage 2 evolution twice, whatever, and then it's gonna, they say they've done it with every single Pokemon in the game. Okay, cool, but I'm not gonna be able to see it on every Pokemon. You know, I'm only gonna get that one chance that one time with it. I would have much rather keeping in my Megas, adding new Megas. I think a good chunk of us are all a little bit upset that we don't get to say Dragonite. I really wanted Dragonite to get his Mega. Anyways, further down here, I have possible Gen 1 pandering. Now, Gen 1 is my favorite generation. I've already mentioned that. But there is an overwhelming amount of Generation 1 pandering, and that's happened ever since Generation 5. A lot of people say that's because Generation 5 was, Junichi Masuda's magnum opus. It's his favorite project, and it didn't really do all that well. So we kind of just went back to basics after that. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Maybe he'll make a biography a little bit later down in life, and we can all read that. But when you look at Leon, who is the champion of the region, obviously we have Charizard there, and Charizard's had so much love ever since Generation 1. He has had so much love. You look at the TCG, he has had some of the most expensive cards. Not very viable cards, but he's had some of the most expensive cards. And obviously Pikachu is in it, Eevee is in it. There's a lot of rumors going around that we might get a new evolution. I hope so, but a lot of people also say that Sylveon might have been the last evolution for all of that. But it's a good, I would say it's a very good, safe bet that most of Generation 1 is going to be safe in this game. And that might be also to attract some of the Let's Go players or the Pokemon Go players. Maybe that's their way of bringing in some more business, so they will keep, most of Generation 1 intact. All right, next I have graphics, and then I've put out the Deku tree. Now this, everybody is just, look at the tree, it looks like it's from, N64. And then I've seen some of the, god damn it, Pokemon Stadium. Some of the Pokemon Stadium comparison videos. And I wouldn't say it's that bad. Once again, it was a beta. They were giving us beta footage. I do expect the game to look a lot more polished when it comes out. But that is in here. The graphics are very underwhelming currently. I don't know how much of that they're going to be able to change in just, 5 months from now. We'll see. My hopes are still there. The graphics aren't a deal breaker for me. I usually prefer gameplay over graphics when it comes to my games. And frame rate. I do prefer frame rate. Next up, I have here the battle animations. So, it's no secret. Everybody sees the battle animations, and they are absolute dog shit. There is no two ways around it. They are reusing old animations. You can talk about the Score Bunny double kick all day until the cows come home. It looks like trash. Okay? I'm not going to try and defend it. I have nothing positive at all to say about the battle animations. Pokemon Battle Revolutions looked incredibly good for its time, and still is some of the best animations we've had in a Pokemon game. At this point, it almost looks like, what's that? Is it Smogon, where you battle online? It's just it's a web browser. I think it's Smogon. I never really used it. I tried it out once back in the day to test out a couple of teams. But the battle animations are damn near the same. Like, it's just, that I will say, they clearly did not put enough time and effort into the development there. They just glossed right over that. It was done. It looks bad. I will hate on this every day until this game comes out, or until they change it. It does not look good. So next up, I have the community. The community. I am hating the community right now. People cannot seem to have an actual conversation with one another cohesively without just slandering each other, and it's absolutely stupid. We're supposed to be enjoying these games together. We're a giant community that have been playing these games for 20 plus years. Some of us not as long, but we've been all playing these games for so long, and now it's, you know, the Dexers attacking the anti-Dexers, and it's just dumb. But the worst part about it is the Twitter attacks. So you look at the account already got banned, and I'm probably going to show some of the stuff on screen while I'm recording this. But there was somebody that reported rape against Junichi Masuda, and they have a whole story on it, and this was all based back in 2013, I believe it was, and it's absolutely disgusting. I understand maybe you're not happy with the game. That's cool. You can be unhappy with it all you want. When you go and slander someone's name over something like this, it's bad, and it makes us all look so bad. And then you have him commenting on his friend's wedding, you know, just congratulating on his friend getting married. That's great. And then people are attacking that post. Let the man have his life for a minute, okay? We're all upset. We're all upset about this. But don't be that person. Don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. Don't be the person to just go and just slander someone. It's like when people were big into swatting there not too long ago. Like, what the hell is wrong with you that you would actually try and affect somebody's real life over a video game? Grow the fuck up. And finally, I have one last closing thing, and this is just pure speculation, 100%. The experience share. So when we look at all the gameplay footage that we've seen so far, every time a battle is done, your entire team gets experience. Now, some people look at the experience share as nothing but a benefit. Some people look at it like, why would I want this on? It's taking away from how I play the game. It's taking away from how I enjoy it. I don't need that. You know, I prefer leveling each and every single one of my Pokemon up. Personally, I like the experience share. It allows me to rotate teams out while I'm doing a game, like just a standard playthrough. I can swap out entire teams, and it's a lot easier to keep everybody leveled up, and I can still progress the game without just handicapping myself, which is, it's good for me. But I understand a lot of the community here does not like having a permanent experience share on, kind of like what was going on in the Let's Go games, where you could not turn off the experience share. Granted, that game played out a little bit differently. You couldn't have wild battles. All your experience came from catching Pokemon or trainer or gym battles. So it made sense there. But in here, and in the demo, people have stated there was no option to turn off the experience share. I'm hoping by release, they actually change that, and they allow everybody to kind of play the game how they want to. Also, if you wanted to do something like a Nuzlocke, having experience share on, it's not really the same game at that point. I mean, it's always fun having a weaker Pokemon out in a Nuzlocke, and then you get into an oh shit moment, and next thing you know, boom, you've lost somebody entirely, and maybe you were planning on that person being your MVP for the run. So I'm hoping they give us some options here for the experience share. But that's pretty much it for me today. This is just going to be a quick one. I also have a video planned later this week for the complete opposite of this, because I want to put something positive out here, and I want to let people know there are still things that are going to be good about this game, hopefully. I still want all of us to really enjoy this when this game comes out. I'm trying to keep this as lighthearted as possible. There's some stuff that's far too speculative that I can't get into, like the pricing of home. We don't know what the pricing of home is going to be. We don't know if you're already subscribed to Bank, if that's going to carry over to home. Nobody knows anything right now, whether it's going to be a part of your Nintendo Online subscription, whether it's going to cost $5 a month, $5 a year. It's too speculative, so I'm not even going to cover that currently. I'll wait to see some more information. There was a big leak that's been going around. Everybody's talking about it with some new evolutions and a new evolution and possibly a Nintendo Direct on the 31st of August, apparently the largest Direct we've ever seen. I don't buy that for a second. I don't. Nobody knows about Nintendo Directs until it's like a week out. I don't believe that. But I do think we're going to get some information soon, whether it's through Koro or Nintendo, a tweet or something. I do think we're due for some new information. They need to calm people down. especially after Junichi's last tweet that he made that kind of just pissed everybody off. He would have been a lot better off just not saying anything. All right, that's it. I'm going to enjoy the sun. I'm going to enjoy my beer, and I'm going to relax. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, have yourselves a Canucking good time. Thank you.